Hey Jake, it's good to see you again.
What's up, Doc?
So, how did your homework assignment go this past week?
What was my homework?
So, at the end of our session last week, we talked about kind of how you realized that you have trouble doing something if you're not the best at it. You mentioned your childhood past of people making fun of you for trying to do things. And I kind of wanted you to reflect on that a little bit more, and then also try and do an activity with friends or with Amy, your fiance, that was not cop related. How'd they go?
Yeah, I guess it was okay. I mean, I went home. I went home from session and I felt rattled that you had gotten inside my head. So then I kind of thought a little bit about it and was talking. Amy came over to my apartment to do the weekly purge of my crap, and we were talking about it.
So how'd that conversation go? What did you talk about?
Well, I mean, I told her I was interested in trying to figure out financial stuff with her, and then she was really proud of me and super supportive, which was nice. But I don't know, I'm not comfortable with not feeling like I know what I'm doing. I like when she shows me how to do stuff. She does it in a way that doesn't make me feel stupid, but
yeah,
I don't know if I could tell Charles that or anything.
So let's go back to the beginning of that. Amy was super proud of you, and it sounds like you were pretty proud of yourself for, you said you worked through some financial stuff and was working on planning.
Well, that's what I wanted to do, and yeah, we did that later in the week. That's my activity.
I'm really proud of you for doing that.
Didn't count.
Yeah, that didn't count.
Last week, whatever.
I'm proud of you for bringing that up with Amy and for letting her help you. That's a big step for you. What was that like? Because you said that she didn't make you feel stupid about not knowing something.
Yeah, she doesn't make me feel stupid, which is nice. I don't know, she just kind of showed me what she does, which is overwhelming. She's hyper organized, and this is just not my style. But I said that I would set up automatic payments for bills so they actually get paid. So
that's a small step. I'm proud of you. And it's little steps at a time. I know it is overwhelming whenever you're trying to make a goal, and someone who has done it over and over again and who's hyper organized, it can kind of be intimidating to measure yourself up to that standard. But you did a good job, I think, of taking a little step, because this fit in the umbrella of trying to take more responsibility and learn something new without having to be the best at it before you start learning.
I guess this has nothing to do with me getting back to my job, though, and that's all I want.
I know that's all you want, is to get back to your job, but I'm proud of you for being able to do something that wasn't cop related.
Yep, it was terrible.
That's not what you said a minute ago.
Well, it was kind of cute, but mostly terrible, because it didn't have anything to do with perps and locking them up, which I'm ready to do. So, give me my green light.
Yeah, well, we're working on that. So you also mentioned that you felt a little rattled at the end of our session last time. Can you tell me more about that?
I don't know. I just came here because I was told to come here and didn't want to talk about anything besides the job thing and then get back on the job. So I just was rattled that you were in my head.
Yeah, so do you remember what we talked about that kind of made you feel like I was in your head?
Just everything. All of a sudden I feel like I get somewhere and I'm like, why am I talking about this? Yeah. It has nothing to do with being a cop.
So I think it does have a lot to do with being a cop because it has to do with you, and the healthier you are, the healthier you can be as a cop, right?
Sure.
And we're trying to work on having more of a holistic identity instead of being a cop being your end all be all. You mentioned that as one of your goals.
Well, yeah, I guess, but ultimately.
So, if what I recall that we talked about at the end of session last time was, you mentioned your childhood, and we had been talking about how you feel like you can't do something unless you're the best at it, which oftentimes for you is being a cop.
Number one.
Yes, I know that's a huge goal for you.
It is an achievement, an accomplishment.
It is.
I am number one.
I know, you're a really good cop. We're going to get you back to that. But, so we talked about your childhood, right? Can you tell me what you remember telling me about your childhood and why that was important to you?
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not in the same space I was last week. Like, it just, like, I don't know. It seemed like we got into some stuff that's just best left there.
Yeah, so you talked a lot about that last week, too, that you kind of like to avoid your problems and ignore them, and that will make them better.
Yeah, and it does. Sort of. I don't know if I believe that anymore.
Yeah, tell me more about that.
I think I'm broken. What did you do to me? You're supposed to fix, not break.
Well, sometimes it takes a little bit more of things getting worse before they get better. So I don't think that's a sign that things are going wrong.
Well, I can't say that I believe ignoring my problems makes them better if I'm now addressing some problems.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. So you seem pretty conflicted right now.
Yes, everything I stand for, aka avoiding problems, focusing on catching bad guys.
Yeah.
It's crumbling.
Yeah. Tell me more.
Well, I set the playing field for my life of no longer having to look at any issues because I just would ignore them. And now I'm looking at them and doing something about them, and it's wrecking my playing field. Guidelines.
Yeah, so things feel a little different now.
Yeah, but like I don't know if it's a good thing. I feel like I had stability because I was ignoring my issues, and now I feel unstable because like I'm like looking at one problem, and that makes me think like I should look at these other issues and like do something. Like, doesn't sound fun.
It sounds like, in a way, you're excited about that.
No,
not excited.
Doc. I just, it sounds terrible. Like going, there's part of me that's like, I should schedule a dentist appointment and get my teeth cleaned for the first time in 7 years.
Yeah, which is a very new thought for you.
Yeah, and the other part of me is like, he's gonna tell you not to eat any more candy ever again.
I'm a girl.
No, the dentist.
The dentist, okay.
Yeah.
That's a boy.
Yeah. No, Doc, I know, you're a girl.
Yeah, so the dentist would be telling you kind of the consequence of eating candy for 7 years, which prior you thought that facing that consequence would just fix the problem, but now you're realizing that things could have consequences.
Well, I think I knew there were consequences, I just was not choosing to look at the consequences.
Right.
And now I'm forced, I feel like I'm compelled to kind of clean up my problems, which means I have to look at the consequences, and that's not fun. I just want to have fun.
Yeah, you sound very conflicted. So on one hand, you feel motivated, and on the other hand, you don't really know what to do with that feeling because part of you still just wants to ignore and be the childlike presence you've always been.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's overwhelming. When do these adult problems stop? When you die? What? How do I even, like? Sounds exhausting. I don't want to do that. The way I was living my life worked just fine.
So your old life wasn't exhausting?
No, it was fine. Dang it! I don't even believe that anymore. Oh.
You seem pretty emotional about this.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I should just.
Yeah,
There
things are changing.
There aren't. Yeah, I had things all in just like a clear field. My life was a meadow, and now, because I was refusing to acknowledge that there were mountains, and now I have like the Himalayas where I should have nothing. Yeah, it's terrible.
It sounds like you're painting an even more beautiful picture.
Wow. No.
I see what you're saying. You're saying that you want it to just be easy instead of having to climb the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm up for the challenge of the finances because, like, it'd be good for Amy. But, like, I can't, like, reconcile doing that one and then not doing other stuff, like laundry more than when she decides to do it for me because all my clothes smell.
So in doing this one act of taking responsibility for your finances, now you feel accountable to take responsibility for other parts of your life too.
Yeah, but like, yeah, but even just the financial mountain is a lot, and so
Yeah.
like I'm one astonishingly attractive man. I cannot climb like 7 different mountains at the same time, but I feel like I should, because like the finances doesn't take up all of my time. I'm like on desk duty at work, like that's boring. Like now would be a great time to go to the dentist, like, and take care of that issue, and also like learn how to organize things in my apartment, but like not by the alphabet, because that seems like how bowls, plates, what forks go in between those. Like that doesn't make any sense.
So I think, so you seem overwhelmed. You've expressed that. I think that we can take baby steps, and the things you mentioned are all good things, but you don't have to do them all in one day.
But like, how am I supposed to just sit and ignore a problem when I'm not ignoring another problem? Now I'm playing favorites with my problems, Jessie.
Well, I think that's called prioritizing. That's a normal adult thing.
What?
Prioritizing, picking which problem is the most important, and then picking which problem you're going to deal with some other time.
Okay, so it's like we have 2 cases coming at the same time. We do the murder before we do the park streaker.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. With it. But
Yeah.
like, how do I know which ones to do?
Yeah, I mean, we can practice that here. Do you have some examples? Let's have 3 problems, and maybe we can practice prioritizing some.
Okay, well, like